Very good morning, class 11th. So, after finishing one very important process that is called glycolysis, right? So, now we are moving on to our next aerobic. We are going to start with actual aerobic process with the cycle, very important cycle, I will say, that is the Krebs cycle. It is also known as citric acid cycle. Then there is another name that is known as tricarboxylic acid cycle. Wow, so many names. Krebs cycle is known because of its the scientist who describe it. That is Hans Krab. Hans Krab. No, it's not crab. It's Krab. Hans Krab. And then citric acid cycle because of its name. Tricarboxylic acid cycle is its IUPAC name. So we will see first the molecule that is citric acid. How does it look like? As you can see, its structure, its organic structure. This is first carbon, second carbon, and third carbon. How do you write IUPAC name in chemistry? There is on second carbon, there is the hydroxyl group. So it is 2 hydroxy. How many number of carbon are there? That is 3. So for 3 we will write propane. Now we will look at groups, functional group, that is 1 carboxyl, 2 carboxyl, 3 carboxyl. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 means tricarboxylic acid, and this 2-hydroxypropane 1,2,3 tricarboxylic acid is commonly known as your citric acid. Why we are so much concerned about citric acid? Because our first product which is formed in this cycle is citric acid, so that is why we are concerned about its structure. And the second name which we have given to this cycle is the tricarboxylic acid because of its functional group. I hope now you are clear with the three names of this our today's topic. Krebs cycle, it is also known as citric acid cycle or also known as tricarboxylic acid cycle. See, this cycle looks like little bit complex. It is actually, but we will make it little less complicated. So for that you have to listen to me first very carefully. In our glycolysis, what was the product which we formed? That in glycolysis we formed pyruvic acid, right? And we formed 2 pyruvic acid. You are very clear about that. Glucose breakdown into glucose breaks down and give rise to the pyruvic acid. And the second step, we formed a connecting link between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. That connecting link is our acetyl coenzyme A, right? So pyruvic acid here, one key point you need to understand, that this pyruvic acid does not enter directly into the citric acid cycle. No, it first has to undergo little changes, that is it changes into acetyl coenzyme A first. So this step, this when pyruvic acid changes into acetyl coenzyme A, that step is not included in your TCA cycle. After the formation of acetyl coenzyme A, then it enter into the cycle. So pyruvic acid is formed into acetyl coenzyme A, that I already described it in my previous lecture. If you want to understand that how we have formed their acetyl coenzyme A, you can watch that video. So pyruvic acid, we have formed here acetyl coenzyme A. This is redox reaction. Redox reaction, you know that here NAD positive is reducing to form NADH2 and coenzyme A is added. Now this undergo decarboxylation step, so CO2 is released out, because pyruvic acid is a 3 carbon compound and your acetyl coenzyme A is 2 carbon. So where is the 1 carbon? 1 carbon is released in the form of CO2. Now let's talk about the cycle. Acetyl coenzyme A, it is received by, or it will accepted by the oxaloacetic acid. Now oxaloacetic acid with the water in the presence of enzyme citrate synthetase, because the first stable product which we are going to form is citric acid. So enzyme name is citrate synthetase. So oxaloacetic acid, water is added here, so condensation process happens with the acetyl coenzyme A. In the presence of enzyme citrate synthetase, it gives us our first compound or first molecule of the cycle, which is called citric acid. Now just look at the carbon. Acetyl is 2 carbon molecule, right? It is a 2 carbon, and oxaloacetic acid is a 4 carbon. So 4 plus 2 carbon, so citric acid is a 6 carbon. See, I am not taking here 2 carbon, 2 pyruvic acid here. We are just proceeding with the 1 pyruvic acid. So here oxaloacetic and acetyl coenzyme A, they will form our 6 carbon citric acid. Some few books they write it as a citrate also. Both terms are correct. So here now we have to change this citric acid into its isomeric form. The isomeric form of citric acid or citrate is isocitrate. Now you know that isomer, we are making isomer, so enzymes you just need to add ase, so isomerase. Now this isocitrate has to change into, now it will form alpha ketoglutarate, and there is one more redox reaction is here. NAD positive is reduced to NADH2, and this is a decarboxylation step, so there will be release of CO2. Let's count our steps. Citric acid, that is first, then there is a isocitrate, that is our second, and then there is a alpha ketoglutarate, that is our third. Now this alpha ketoglutarate is changing into or forming succinyl coenzyme A. So here we are now again, this is also redox reaction. NAD positive is changing into NADH2, and CO2, one more CO2 is released here. After forming succinyl coenzyme A, succinic acid is formed, and here now there is the release of, you have already released coenzyme A, so this coenzyme A is not there now, so succinic acid is formed. Now here GDP is converted into GTP. The moment GDP converted into GTP, simultaneously there is a synthesis of ATP, so GTP is equal to 1 ATP molecule. This succinic acid form the fumarate, and there is a FAD will change into, FAD will be form our FADH2. That is again one power for us, because NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP. It is not giving us much ATP, but FADH2 is equal to 2 ATP molecules. Fumarate form the malate, and here water, we are adding water here at this step. Water is added, right? Water is added here when fumarate changes into malate, and malate ultimately regenerate in the oxaloacetic acid. That is again redox reaction. When malate regenerates oxaloacetic acid, that is NADH2 is formed. Now as you can see, this is little bit, it's very difficult to remember. Then when isocitrate is formed, alpha ketoglutarate, succinyl coenzyme A, succinic acid, malate is formed. So for that purpose, what you should do, that you can remember this line, that see, I know some simple formula making options. That is, see, I know some simple formula making options. C, it is not, definitely it's not C, but yes, C, we need first, our first stable product C, that is citric acid. I, that is your isomer of citrate, that is isocitrate. No, let's just start from K. So alpha ketoglutarate, some. S for succinyl coenzyme A. Then there is simple. S for succinic acid, formula. F for fumarate. M, malate, and finally malate for oxaloacetic acetic acid. So in this way, even in your NEET, because they are not going to ask you the whole Krebs cycle in your NEET examination, they are going to ask you a single step and about the NADH2 as well as the ATP calculation. So this is the best way to remember these steps. See, I know some simple formula making options. So I don't think with this line you will make it wrong in your exams. Then now let's calculate. The most important thing is calculation here. Let's count first NaDH2. We are not going to include this pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A step in our cycle. So here is our first NaDH2, and this is second, and there is third. So we have 3 NaDH2 from 1 acetyl coenzyme A, or you can say 3 NaDH2 from the 1 pyruvic acid, right? So now 1 NaDH2 is equal to 3 ATP, but this cycle has to repeat 2 times because second pyruvic acid. So 3 for 3 NaDH2 we are having how much ATP molecules? Only for 3. I'm not talking about 6 right now. I'm concerned about 3. So 3 NaDH2 equal to 3 ATP. So 3 3s are total, we have 9 ATP here. How many FADH2 we have produced? Only 1, and FADH2 is equal to 2 ATP. So you can write down here 2 ATP molecules. How many ATP? Because I already told you that with the formation of GTP, immediately ATP formation starts. So how many GTP? 1. It is equal to our direct 1 ATP. So let's calculate 9 plus 2, 10 plus 1, 11. So these are 12 ATP in one cycle. But our purpose is not solved. How many pyruvic acid we have? We have 2 pyruvic acid molecule. So with 1 we are forming 12 ATP. So for 2 cycles, how many ATP molecules will be there? There will be 24. 12 into 2, 24 ATP molecules will be produced. You don't need to cram all this. If you know that when glucose is breaking down, it gives rise to formation of 2 pyruvic acid, and we have started our cycle only with the 1. So you have sometime even in the exam they ask for 1. So for 1, if it is very clear to you, if NaDH2, FADH2, ATP is clear to you, then you can definitely calculate for 2, that is 24 ATP molecule. Or simple, if I ask you for 1 Krebs cycle, how many ATP? That will be 12. For 2 Krebs cycle, how many ATP? That will be 24 ATP molecules. Again, this is the best way that how to remember that this cycle, that is C I know some simple formula making option. C I know some simple formula making options. All steps are covered in this, right? Only you have to be very careful about the redox reaction as well as GTP production. So this was about your diagrammatic part that you have to draw. But if this question is asked in 5 marks in your subjective paper, then how you need to write down your theoretical part? The first point you need to understand here, that acetyl coenzyme A, it enters into a cyclic pathway. Which pathway? That is TCA cycle. What is TCA? It is tricarboxylic acid cycle. I already told you it have 3 carboxylic acid group. That is why it's from its IUPAC name we are calling it as a tricarboxylic acid. Its common name is citric acid because it was discovered and thoroughly explained by scientist Hans Krebs. So it is known as Krebs cycle. First product of cycle, citric acid. How many carbon? 6 carbon. That is why it is known as citric acid cycle. How does this cycle start? It starts with condensation of acetyl coenzyme A. Who is the receiver of acetyl coenzyme A? It is oxaloacetic acid. How many carbon it has? 4 carbon. Acetyl coenzyme A is 2 carbon. So 2 plus 4, that is 6 carbon. Citric acid is a 6 carbon molecule, plus we are adding water. So with the help of enzyme citric acid synthetase, or even in your NCERT it is citric acid synthase is written there. So both things are correct, don't get confused. So citric acid is formed here. After that, there is decarboxylation occurs. Decarboxylation means we are removing CO2. So when you are removing CO2, that leads to formation of your alpha ketoglutaric acid as well as succinyl coenzyme A. Succinyl coenzyme A is further oxidized through different steps, and oxaloacetic is formed and regenerated, I will say, and that's the way how cycle continues. Question time. If I ask you simply, at which step GTP is synthesized, especially during the conversion of succinyl coenzyme A? Just let's go back to our cycle. Here it is succinyl coenzyme A. When it releases its coenzyme, it change into acid, and GDP is converting into GTP. So they have simply asked that tell us step at which GTP is synthesized during the conversion of succinyl coenzyme A to the succinic acid. Why I am so concerned about this step? Because this is called substrate level phosphorylation. When your GDP immediately converts into GTP, at same time your ATP is formed. That is why we are saying that this GTP is equal to your 1 ATP. So succinic acid is formed here, and this step is called substrate level phosphorylation. The final equation of our cycle is pyruvic acid plus how many NAD we are using here? 4 NAD. Now when you are using pyruvic acid, you will say, ma'am, here we are writing 3 NaDH2, but you are now writing in the equation 4 because I am starting with the equation with pyruvic acid. So one more NaDH2 we are going to add. So substrate kya hai hamara? That is pyruvic acid, right? We have started our reaction with pyruvic acid. That is redox reaction, 4 NAD positive plus 1 FAD, as well as at 2 steps we have added water. One is when oxaloacetic will accept acetyl coenzyme A, and second when your malate is getting formed at that step, plus ADP plus inorganic phosphate, where this all complete reaction is occurring, that is in mitochondria matrix. What is the site? Mitochondria matrix. So now 3 CO2 will be released out, 4 NADH2, right? 4 NADH plus 4 protons, FADH2, FAD will form FADH2 plus 1 ATP. This is the complete reaction of our Krebs cycle. I hope you are able to understand this cycle. But one thing which is coming in my mind to which I can ask, that neither we have formed oxygen here, or we are not forming much amount of energy. Then what is the use? Why we are doing this in aerobic respiration? So next I am taking now you to release more energy with another step, that is with the help of ETC. So next we are going to discuss another important process, that is electron transport chain. Till